All right, guys, welcome back. It's day 2. There's not going to be a whole lot going on that we can see yet on day 2, but there's definitely a lot going on underneath the surface, so we will take a look there. First thing we need to do for Bubbles here is feed him. So as you can see, I'm going to put in some food right there into the slot. All right. So again, how this works is that I am feeding Bubbles and he is going to be producing some nutrients, and that water is going to be filtering through this area here. And as you can see, the water soaks up into these grow pods here. And then eventually, like this one here, there will be a root that is sticking out, and those roots will be searching for the water so that they can suck them up into the plant. So we can look closely here at these seeds. There's not a lot that is changing with them yet, but they are going to be changing a little bit. They're going to be opening up. They're going to be getting softer, and they're going to be getting ready for the sprouts to sort of push through, and eventually we will see leafy green stems and leaves start to push through and grow. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about this process and when it's used and why it's used. 7th graders learned this year about something called sustainable resources. And sustainable resources are an alternative to the typical natural resources that we use on a daily basis, like coal, fossil fuels, oil, things like that actually take millions of years to process into the earth and for us to get. As the population of the earth increases, we go through these faster, and we need other alternative fuels in order to be sustainable. Water and wind are 2 of those examples. 7th graders actually did a project where they had to pretend that they were going to go off the grid and they weren't going to have electricity. So they had to develop their own hydroelectric generator using wind or water that was going to give them the electricity that they needed. So when people go off the grid, another thing that they typically use is this idea of hydroponics. What they can do is set up a larger tank. They usually use larger fish called koi fish. Koi fish are typically from Asia, and they are red and orange. And what they do is they have the koi fish in a similar situation like this, but they would have many more in a tank, and they would feed the fish, and the fish would then produce enough nutrients and fertilizer in order for them to grow food for their garden. What this does is it reduces the amount of fertilizer that they need in order to keep the plants alive. It also reduces the amount of fresh water that is needed in order for those plants to grow. Another great thing about the hydroponic system is that it can be done indoors, and it actually prefers non-direct light, so indirect light. And so it cannot sit directly in front of a window. It kind of needs to be protected in a way, and it will actually grow much better. So I will keep updating you daily and letting you see the seeds as they start to change and grow. So visit me back. Thanks.